What's up, everybody? Nostalgia Goggles 43 here. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Let's just head right into it. Some Hornets versus Bulls action. That's not what you're here to see. I hope that's not what you're here to see. That is what you're here to see. Sorry to disappoint you. You're here to see me have to press the start button 4 times before it takes. March 10th, 1996, when the Dallas Mavericks come to face off against your Toronto Raptors. So, starting lineup, we're going to start Muggsy again after a tremendous performance last night. Muggsy, Davis, Ellis also had a tremendous performance last night. Popeye Jones needs to start against his former team. That's like an obligation. And then Sharon Wright. Muggs 4-3. What's up, JM Pizzo? How are you tonight? Davis, Ellis, Jones, and Wright. All right. Have right at it. Before we get started, under 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. They're actually based in Dallas, but that's not why we're supporting them. We're supporting them because they are trying to cure blindness, working on cure for macular degeneration, among other things. A very worthy cause, in my opinion. So if you'd like to support them directly, there is a link in my Twitch profile, as well as in the YouTube description if you're watching this in the future. Breaking $142 worth of other half. That sounds delightful. How does your other half feel about that? Let's do this. Ace Bit's the greatest. Mavericks, I think they might have had 3 stars when we played them before, but we took their best rebounder at the trade deadline. Early career Jason Kidd, Jim Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, the big 3 that never was, though all went on to have pretty good careers elsewhere. What's the goal tonight? I'm open to suggestions. First goal, start Muggsy Bogues. We have achieved that. Just gonna kind of wing it. JM Pizzo, any thoughts? Everyone scores 100. I like it. Think big. Triple-double? All right. It's the only thing we haven't done. We were so close, Tony Massenberg. How is Tony the only one to get close? That is an excellent question. So maybe we player lock on Muggsy. Get him a triple-double tonight. I gotta just take that lane. There we go. That one's for you, Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist, patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Thanks for your support. Much appreciated. Please enjoy these beats. Oh, Muggsy, that could have been a steal right there. There we go. No. Oh, that was nice. In traffic. Terrific shot by Dallas. Off to an outstanding start. Muggsy finishing strong. It would be hilarious if I got a double-double and the thing I came up short in was points. You know, I'm done with that. Let's work on the other stuff first. Davis, no. Oh, there you go, Popeye. Oh, whoa. Nice. 9 points, 15 rebounds, 20 steals. Hashtag goals. Someone stop him. Oh, wow! Muggsy with the steal. Great assist, Hubert Davis. Brilliant basketball. Thank you. I've said it before. I'll say it again. There were 6 buttons on the controller. I really wish they hadn't had jump for a rebound and make the AI shoot it be the same button. Davis. Running jumper. I can't get a rebound. Full court shot is one thing, it happens. But the AI hitting nothing but backboard from 5 feet out is amazing. Yeah. Good way to put it. Muggsy with another steal. Sorry, there's his points. That one goes to Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder. Pitching at our buy bucket tier. No, I didn't have a chance to go back and watch the clip. My 2-year-old was still awake when I was done streaming, so I had to go address that. I'll hopefully have time after this tonight, though. Seven assists for us already. There we go. So that's probably 5 assists from Muggsy, maybe 4. There's a board. Right with the brick. Oh, I was hoping a kid would leave Ellis. I could pass it off. Guess I should have waited till it happened. Woo! Yeah. We'll sub. Put in Rustford and Murray. Pinkney. And Davis. And do a quick check. So he's got 10 points. There are 5 categories that are tracked for this. 1 rebound, no blocks, 2 steals, 5 assists. So we are on pace. The concern with steals being the third one, of course, is if we get into foul trouble. That'll be a problem. Come on, Murray. You were wide open. And you, yeah, see? I can only do that a few more times. Okay. Whistles are tight. Switch into rebounds. Too close for whistles is what I should have said. Oh. Well, this lineup is not a winner. As far as lineups go. Alright, Pinckney, you take that in. Nice hook. Murray. Bugsy Bogues, 5 feet 3 inches tall. 4 block shots last night. Trying for 10 rebounds tonight. Like that's 3 for him. Davis, ill-advised. Clinging slightly to our lead. Pinckney, yes! Pinckney, no. I haven't seen Jimmy King make an appearance yet. Hopefully soon. Muggsy with the whistle for goaltending. Something that happened far too often during his actual playing career. Pinckney, yes! That one's for you, Spitz the Greatest. Patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Ed Pinckney supporter. The one and only reason Ed Pinckney is still on the team. Okay. No one to pass to, I'll just take it. Finish strong. Well, this is a very realistic first quarter score. Nice. Great work, everyone. That was a great feed as well. Hope nobody is planning on traveling to or from Europe in the next 30 days. Why? What now? Banned. Like, what do you mean banned? Like, you are not legally allowed to go? Or you're not allowed back in the country? Like, what does that mean? What if you're already in Europe? Davis. Ellis. Pinckney and suspended for 30 days, no flights in except from the UK. So if you're in France, get to the UK and you're good to go. Wow. Just wow, that's all I got. Building strategy. Cargo too. Alright. Well, good thing I've already imported all the Blu-rays from Europe that I'm planning on importing short term. 8 assists, 2 steals, no blocks, 3 rebounds. Yeah, no more European DVDs, Looks like we were on the same wavelength at the same time, Joe and Pizza. Oh, make him take a bad shot. If I can clean this glass. No! Oh, terrible pass. Alright, terrible recovery. That works. Great feed to Pinckney. Oh. Terrible pass. Huh. No. What? What was that? Dell Ellis dunks on nothing. Doesn't know what to do, and I'm not player locked on him. There we go. First 3-point shot of the evening. Oh, up. Oh well, that's okay. He got the rebound. That's what counts. Now they have the ball again, so I can camp under the basket and try to get another. Yes. Taking it all the way. We've been trying to get a triple-double all season, and watch, Muggsy will get one in the first half. There you go, Ellis. Found the hoop. Funny, he never dunks when I'm locked on him. There you go, Ellis. Pinckney, yes. I suppose that would be one way to get more rebounds, just have Pinckney take more mid-range jumpers. If he gets a triple-double in the first half, then we need 2 triple-doubles. Man, there's just no satisfying some patrons. I don't think he'll quite get there, but I think he's already in double for points and assists. Not rebounding like that, it's not going to happen. There we go. That was cool. Was cool. Credit where credit is due. These Mavericks. Exciting basketball. Oh, bad pass. Good pass. There is such a thing as too much ball movement. All right, timeout us. Bogue, Davis, Murray, Pinckney, and Wright. So, are we talking about this coronavirus thing? Is that the stream it's going to be tonight? I feel like we're all thinking about it. I try to keep it to 1996, but... Oh, I did forget to check. See, I'm so distracted thinking about... You weren't really going to talk about... Alright. Let's focus on 96 then. So distracted I didn't even look at the stats. So 16 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. Talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about. Well, JM Pizzo wants to talk about coronavirus or beer. We can talk about Corona, I guess. I'm not a huge fan myself. Drink any kind of beer you want as long as it's not a Corona. Nope, get that board. No, I was way out of position. Got a bail. Good night, JM Pizzo. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your time away. What's going on with the score? What do you mean? We held the Knicks to like 40 points the whole game. Well, some of it was when I was going for steals, I let them have a lot of easy layups. We usually have a 50-point lead by now. I missed it. I was reading the chat. What happened? Yeah. I'm starting to, so I am still learning things 60 games in, and one of the things that is a bit that I've been wondering about recently is if the lineups also impact how the refs officiate the game. I'm starting to think yes. I'm always so out of position for offensive rebounds because I'm afraid of getting the 3-second call. There you go, Davis. Yeah. Never mind, Davis. By saying some players get calls, no, but both of Muggsy's foul calls were within like 30 seconds of each other, and they were within the first minute of a lineup change. Which makes me think that it had, and I've seen that sort of thing happen before. I had been trying to steal the ball with the previous lineup a lot in the same manner with no whistles. That was a nice one. We also have an abnormally high number of turnovers tonight because we're moving. Oh, wow. We're moving the ball more than we usually do. At least I got the call. That's true. Something to be said for that. Not enough time. Yep. Here we are at the half. Bugsy Bogues, 5 rebounds shy of a triple-double. Just barely on pace. Who holds the career record for most assists? Was it already John Stockton by this point? If I get a triple-double and lose, that will be something else entirely. Speaking of something else entirely, huge thanks to our patrons, Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist, Spitz the Great, Dr. Sebastian Dortmunder. Thank you for your support. And speaking of support, we are supporting the Retina Foundation of the Southwest, specifically of Dallas. They are doing a lot of great things in the vision space, envisioning a world without goggles. Why don't you check them out yourself? There's a link in my Twitch profile or the YouTube description. A little contact there. Oh, I was going to substitute. Oh well. Next dead ball. Oh, I'll just call timeout now. I'll go with Bogues. He's fully charged, that's nice. Rustberg, Ellis, Jones, and Miller. Bogues, Rustberg, Ellis, Jones, and Miller. Another struggle in this game, at least, is that in order to be in position to get a rebound, you need to be out of position for blocks and steals. And even blocks and steals are not necessarily that well suited to each other. Most of our steals have come on the perimeter or picking off passes. And most of the blocks come when they make their shot really obvious and telegraphed. Great dribble move. Of course, they have to miss shots in order for me to get rebounds. That is a challenge. There you go, Miller. Nope. There we go. Oh, why did you stop, Jones? This is your chance. Show them what they're missing by having traded you. Good bounce pass. Dude is afraid. He did used to play with these guys. Maybe he knows something we don't. His heart is still with them. Indeed. Wonder if they'll count that as a rebound. I'm curious. Nope. 6. Oh no, what? Tom Hanks and wife have tested positive for coronavirus. Okay, so I guess we are talking about this. That's all people are talking about. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I think it's good that the CDC is taking this seriously. Certainly we don't want... people to die unnecessarily. I think almost. It was closer than that shot. I think reasonable precautions are a good thing. That said, I mean, nothing I've seen has made me think that this is like MERS or like, I don't know, the measles, even the Spanish flu. The mortality rate is somewhere around 2 or 3%, which is a lot. That's, and that's tragic for anyone to whom it happens. But all the precautions are still the same as the seasonal flu we're taking. Nothing is like Spanish flu. Well, MERS is. And so I think that's the concern, right? Is that this mutates into something that has the mortality that it has now with the R0 it has now with the mortality of something like MERS. I mean, that would be catastrophic. That would be worse than Spanish flu. But that's not where we are now. My wife asked me to buy some toilet paper tonight at the grocery store. I laughed at her. And just sent her a picture of the empty aisle. Mugsy Bogues, no fear there. So, Spanish flu had a 10% mortality rate, comparable levels of contagion. I don't know. That's why I said R0 the first time. I'm not sure what the right word is exactly. Said you don't know if you're underreacting or if the world's overreacting. That's kind of where I'm at, too. It's definitely one of those. Maybe a bit of both. I don't know. It just seems like we should leave it to the CDC, WHO. Right. The vast majority of people will be fine. I had a friend ask me the other day, he's going to Florida soon for business, and he was planning on flying, and he asked me if I thought he should drive. And I said, honestly, I'd have to pull the numbers. I'm pretty sure you're more likely to die in a car crash driving that long than you are from the coronavirus. If, you're otherwise healthy guy in your 30s. You're flying soon, too, and it's crossed your minds. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The experts are recommending no unessential travel, and you want to respect the experts. Sure. And I mean, the thing is, exactly, can your life really be put on hold? And that's my question. There's risk in everything. I mean, of course the experts are saying that, but I mean, going back to the car crashes thing, like if car crashes were a disease, we would be like, the panic levels over that would exceed this by far. Like, the statistic I'd seen that I found most jarring is that if you take out, like, people in Manhattan who don't own cars, for example, like, of people who drive a car in the course of everyday life, you have a 1% chance of dying in a car. Like, that's how, like, any given trip, the chance is small, but 1 in 100 people who spends, like, time daily in a car will end their life in a car. I mean, that's higher than most diseases. I think any contagious disease I'm aware of. But nobody bats an eye about that. And the reason nobody bats an eye about that is because it's become essential to our everyday lives. And so it just, like, where is that scale, right? Like, the idea of driving just to drive is, if you look at it from that perspective, like the lens that we're looking at this coronavirus thing at, is, reckless. I overheard somebody in the office today saying, if there's even a slight chance you could get it, why would you go? That's just stupid. And I was thinking, because you can't live your life paralyzed by fear. I mean, what if you have your groceries delivered and the person delivering it has it? Like, you can't just lock yourself in a bunker for the next 6 months, or most of us can't anyway. You could very well get the regular flu sitting at home. That's right. Get that board. Oh, come on, Muggsy. Ugh. We're barely even ahead. Part of you does wonder if there isn't more of the story. See, I don't know how they could keep it from us, though. Like, a lot of my data is coming from Johns Hopkins, and they're not generally one to hide stuff that's inconvenient. John Stockton called it. I don't know. I think it is probably that they're not so much what it is now as that they're trying to keep a handle on what it could become. Because it could become a lot worse than it is now. Bogues, Restford, Murray, Jones, and Davis. See how we're doing. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 13 assists. More along the lines of more severe health impacts that they aren't sharing. Well, I mean, there are 15% people will experience permanent damage to their lungs. I mean, it's too soon to tell, I suppose. That does seem like pure speculation. I don't know. It seems like that would be hard to keep secret, though. Like, especially since so many of the people who are contracting it are healthcare workers who are familiar with these mechanisms. The reaction seems too severe. Whoa. Like, Cuomo just shut down SUNY today on a whim. Yeah. No, I know. I hear what you're saying. That's Cuomo. Apparently, he didn't tell anyone at either SUNY or CUNY that he was going to do it. Oh, that I hadn't heard. But I mean, he's Cuomo. He does stuff like that. And there's so many like private companies that are doing stuff too that don't have any more data. Well, presumably don't have any more data than the rest of us. Is that it? I think that's it. $32 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. We have achieved our first triple-double of the season for Muggsy Bogues. Now we're going to switch and player lock a small forward so that we can hit some threes. But yeah, what awful leadership. Even giving him the benefit of the doubt that he wanted to do a good thing, why not confer with your education secretary and head of SUNY? Right. Like, you shouldn't be learning about these things from a press conference. If you're the head of the executive branch, that, doesn't make you a dictator. You're still a manager. Oh, off to a great start. Commence domination now. Yeah, I did hear that the classes were online until further notice, but I didn't know. I hadn't heard any specifics about it. So that happened. No school has that capacity. Okay. What? I don't think I haven't hit anybody. Reading that nursing schools are freaking out because they never do online classes. Well, sure. Why would you? If you're a nursing school. How are you going to learn to be a nurse on the internet? Internet's good for watching people play old basketball games. It's not good for learning how to cure sick people. There you go. Oh yeah. 3-point lead, baby. Maybe we'll break 100 tonight. Muggsy! All right, AI Muggsy. Leading the charge. I like that. Little explosive speed. There, in the sports world, how about the NCAA tournament being in empty arenas? I heard it's impacting some of the NBA too, although you would think in my position I would have read some more about that, but I have not yet. So do you know, is that a league-wide thing, or is that some team-by-team something or other? So weird. The computer substitutes on goaltends, but it doesn't let me. I think it's team by team, but it's going to end up being everyone. Yeah. My concern is that a lot of the stuff's going to end up being permanent, too. Like how, we changed, the handshake got started because of a pandemic, replacing other more intimate greetings that we used to have. I don't know. I think that would be too bad. Davis. Either Murray or Ellis. Stoudemire. Davis, Ellis. No, not Jones. Pinkney. And Wright. See what we can work with here. Stoudemire, Davis. Murray, Pinkney, Wright, we've already done. Murdoch. Murray, Pinkney, Wright, that's been done too. Stoudemire, Davis, Ellis, Pinkney, Wright. There we go. Stoudemire, Davis, Ellis. Yeah, right, perfect. To back up to Cuomo, you find yourself more upset by his decision about SUNY than anything else. It just shows an utter lack of ability to lead and a disinterest in the ramification of your poorly conceived orders. You must be a pretty poor manager to just decree something and not give any thought to how it is implemented and the chaos that ensues. Yeah, well said. I've honestly felt that way about many of his decisions as governor. We wouldn't want a boss like that in retail, much less government. You're here. Nice. Hubert Davis. Dropping down a triple as we start to pull away with it a little bit. 8-15. Okay, hit me. NBA suspending season after tonight. Wow. So I'm the only game in town. Till further notice. Huh. The only show on, no competition. I mean, we got March Madness coming up. I mean, do we ever apparently have March Madness? I cannot ever recall a March that was madder than this. I should suspend my stream and just show a hospital bed or something. There you go. Nope, no easy buckets. Wow. I try to keep the banter going on these things, but there are just so many things are happening today with this that I find it hard to focus. The news is coming fast. Well, that's the other thing too. I wonder if it's just because of the internet and now we all have smartphones in our pockets and things, and for all of the good that it does, like, would we even know about this? Like, would we have even known about this 40 years ago? Or would we have just thought it was like secondary flu season kind of situation? There you go. Great stuff, Stoudemire. Great slam, Sharon Wright. I bet you the NBA gave this more thought than Cuomo did. Oh, sure. Well, the thing is, let's talk about the NBA here. Like, I wonder if some of this is like and the NCAA too. It's more that like it's a bad look. I mean, look at like Norwegian Cruise Lines, for example. Like it is good. They're having just a PR disaster right now, and it is going to be years, if ever, if they recover. So like, if there was an outbreak that got in San Antonio that got traced back to a Spurs game, like, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that headlined. So people are just like, an organization like that, I get it. And honestly, that I feel like that's probably what happened with Cuomo too. Like, if this does end up being, like, my understanding is it's not really even that much of a threat to college students, as far as like mortality goes, or even long-term health detriment. Because the thing is, I think these are pretty well studied too. Like, not this specific strain of it, but like, we've known about SARS, we've known about MERS. A lot of what people call the common cold is a coronavirus variant, as far as I understand. Which, again, I'm not a doctor, so I might not be understanding it correctly. But I'm out. Only get one shot, like Eminem. Hubert Davis. No. Case in point, you've begun to research your options for canceling the conference I'm organizing. Sure. All of the industry conferences for my non-streaming industry have been canned. We scored under 100. That has not happened since like game 4. I don't think it's been a long time. But there it is. Muggsy Bogues, triple-double. Doing it purely for the reason that you don't want the conference to be the one that isn't looking at options. It's purely for options. Yeah. Right. I mean, and, you know, you don't want to, like, it doesn't matter. I did get the triple-double. I mean, I know this isn't what you meant, but it's not just for that, right? Like, it is good to take reasonable precautions. And I'm glad that we are taking reasonable precautions. I also think that in many cases we've gone beyond reasonable and into unreasonable precautions. Because there's also a matter of free expression and risk and reward, right? I mean, we talked about driving and whatnot, but I'm thinking, like, what was it Sister Jean, the nun from a couple years ago, the Cinderella team in the NCAA tournament? There was that nun who was always the big booster and showed up there. It was in her 90s. We do have good talk. Anyone's welcome. Please come join. But yeah, you know, she has the right to, or should have the option to take that chance and come to the game, and maybe she won't get sick. Maybe she will get sick and not die, or maybe she will get sick and die. But if she wants to, I mean, she could get in a car crash on the way there. There's any number of things that could happen with it. Like, I don't know, like taking away that freedom to choose doesn't seem right. Like, I don't want to be like, that's un-American, but that honestly was the thought that came to my mind. I mean, we let people be self-destructive in all kinds of things. This seems like an odd place to draw the line. Other than, like you said, optics. I don't know. I'm coming from a place, I was a very risk-averse person for a lot of my life. I suppose I still am, compared to a lot of people. Oof. Brutal. And what I'm realizing the older I get is that there really is risk in everything. You know, you can't avoid it. So you just have to do the best you can with the information you have. So much more balanced scoring than normal. We're kind of all over the place. All right, March 12th coming up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting about the future in the past. Very realistic game indeed. So our next stream is going to be a week from Monday. We're taking next week off, and then we'll come back strong against the Philadelphia 76ers, and then Muggsy Bogues' old team, the Charlotte Hornets at the Charlotte Coliseum. Thanks for watching. I'm Nostalgic Goggles for 3. Everybody, stay healthy.